We've got the 2022 Nissan Sentra.
Might just be the best deal in the compact car segment. Let's go for a drive.
Take it easy there, Andrea. This is not a high horsepower car.
No, but it feels good.
Yeah, it's fun to drive. What's under the hood of this Sentra?
A 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with a CVT, 149 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. Front-wheel drive only, and of course you can put regular fuel in this Sentra. There is a 6-speed manual option in Canada on the base model and the SR trim. Unfortunately, the US only comes with the CVT.
You know why there's a manual transmission? They're very popular in the province of Quebec, and they go racing with this. It's called the Sentra Cup.
Yep.
And all the cars are fitted with roll cages, manual transmissions, and they go at it in Ontario and Quebec.
I love it that the SR trim comes with the 6-speed manual, not just that base model.
So when this latest model came out a couple of years ago, I was very hopeful for Nissan. They were kind of in trouble, and I thought, if this is the direction they're going, I think they have a future. And that's coming up in our hot topic, so stick around for that. But right now, what do you get with this? What are the key standard features?
The base trim in Canada comes with a 7-inch touchscreen, a 4.2-inch information display, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, heated front seats, cloth upholstery, manual driver and passenger seats, remote keyless entry with push-button start, halogen headlights, 16-inch wheels, and Nissan Safety Shield 360. Not standard but available are LED headlights, LED fog lights, and thin projector LED headlights.
It's quite a sporty looking dashboard, nice buttons and switches. What are we gonna put it in?
Got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put out another one on Saturday.
So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. So also follow along on Instagram to get a sneak peek behind the scenes. It's Motormouth_Andrea, and for me it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
So we drove this car a couple of years ago when it was first introduced, and we were pleasantly surprised, but we're in the 2022. What's new?
Well, Nissan has added some packages, and Nissan Safety Shield 360 is now standard on all trims, giving it a load of features.
So the big addition 2 years ago when they introduced this car was the introduction of independent rear suspension. So this car goes from basic transportation, the old Sentra, into the driver's category.
This has got a firm suspension, and the steering is a little bit heavier. It gives it a real sporty drive in the city. Wow, I think it's got plenty of power. I do find when you get it on the highway, and it is pretty typical for this class, and you are trying to pass, it gets a little louder in the cabin, but look at me go.
This is a very competent commuter car, and that's what it is. It's not expensive, it's good on gas, and you know what? It's a nice looking car as well. So I agree with all of those points. Suspension feels good, independent rear suspension, and a great feeling chassis.
Yeah.
And then you get to the looks. What do you think of this one?
It's stylish, sporty. We've got the Midnight Edition package on here, and it's new. It comes with all black accents, the black V-Motion grille, black 18-inch wheels. You can also get chrome or dark chrome on other trims, standard 16-inch wheels, and also available 17-inch wheels.
I think the white-black combo on this car really works with the black roof, the dark wheels, the white paint. A really stylish looking car. Style is so important, even on entry-level cars, and I think they got it right.
I'm happy that Nissan offers this two-tone color option in their models, whether it's the Sentra, the Rogue, or the Pathfinder.
I want you to stick around for vital stats because we're going to get into the price of this thing. So you get a nice handling car, a good-looking car, and then the price is really good, which is why I think it's one of the best in this category. All right, Andrea, the inside, same thing. Look at the inside of this. It's almost got a Mercedes vibe to the air vents.
I know, it's round, just like Mercedes-Benz. This comes with a leatherette dash, and it's got orange stitching. We've got sport seats in our model, this Midnight Edition package, and they're very comfortable. Soft materials used throughout. Of course, you're going to find some hard plastic in here. We've got the larger 8-inch touchscreen and the 7-inch information display, along with the moonroof. we've got everything in here that we need.
So the seats really are comfortable. You got cloth and Alcantara, so a dual fabric mixture.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not that expensive for them to make, but it sure looks good. And the stitching is great. You've got a faux carbon look on the door handles. It doesn't look inexpensive. Even things like the heat controls have a knurled aluminum. It looks upscale.
If you are looking for a leatherette interior, it's called Primatex, and it's available on the top trim along with power driver's seat. Our test model only has manual, and manual on the passenger side as well.
So Andrea always does the deep dive into the best value trim. What do we have?
I would go with the SR model, which is basically this interior minus the Midnight Edition package. For the CVT, that's under $25,000, and with the 6-speed manual, under $24,000. Now that is in Canada. In the US, I would go for the SV trim plus the all-weather package for $590 US. And the premium package for just over $1,800. You'll get the heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, remote engine start, and then you get something special, quilted tan leather appointed seats. It is the only trim that gets leather appointed in the US and Canada. We don't get it at all, but it is tan, so you've gotta like tan. And you get all of that for $22,500 US. Amazing value.
So this is in the compact class. So of course it's not going to have the biggest back seat, but I would call it adequate and comfortable. You can see me getting in, and the leg room and the headroom. Now what about the trunk for carrying on a cooler?
Yeah, it looks great. I had to turn the cooler to the side to make it fit. I didn't have to do that in some of the other sedans we reviewed, but hey, it fit great.
Actually, we're going to pick up on the size in the back seat in the cargo area right now.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
I definitely like the improved design compared to the old one. There's a huge stigma against CVT transmissions, and most automakers are using automatic transmissions instead of a CVT. Do you feel the Sentra handles well with the CVT, or would it handle better with an automatic transmission? Well, most manufacturers for that base engine are actually using a CVT, except for the Mazda 3 sedan, which has got a 6-speed automatic transmission.
Jetta doesn't have a continuously variable transmission. It's a bigger car than this. And CVT transmission is redundant. It's one of my pet peeves. Nothing against this person, Andrea.
Yeah, Zach always hates that because really it's continual variable transmission.
Transmission.
But a lot of people will say transmission twice. And I get it. I get it.
All right. Enough of that. That's just me. The other thing is it doesn't affect handling at all. Handling and the transmission are two totally separate things. So I would say on the handling front, this car is very good because it now, with this latest version, has independent rear suspension. This one with the chunky wheels, you feel the road. It handles well. It's got a nice heavy steering feel. The transmission is like Andrea said. Everybody in this class is offering a CVT.
And if you don't like a CVT, then I suggest definitely don't buy a CVT, but there aren't a lot of options on the base models anymore.
Oh, there is. Manual. This car's sold with a manual transmission. You get that.
Not in the US, only in Canada. The sedan market in the US just baffles me. Who's the target market? Under 25 college kids? I think they should all get 50 miles per gallon, be extremely sporty, tech forward, and of course safe. But maybe I'm just getting old.
I think that's a lot to ask for an inexpensive car. You want everything. Here's a news flash. These cars are inexpensive.
Yeah.
They do get good fuel economy compared to larger vehicles, of course.
Yep.
And I think that's the interesting thing about a compact car. It doesn't really have one target market. So I think the under 25 college crowd, maybe your parents might buy you a car, but the reality is a young person that buys this car maybe has their first professional job. They've got a paycheck. They want to take out a loan or a lease a car, and they might get this. All the way up to empty nesters, everybody in between. People like us, we have a Civic as a third car. It's a great second car.
Well, I was going to say that, a great second car for a family where you don't need, that extra space. Let's say you've got an SUV or a minivan. But I got to say, this Sentra back seat is pretty spacious for a compact sedan.
They're fun to drive. Great on fuel. They tick a lot of your boxes, just not the performance heavy side. That's not gonna happen.
No. We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is you go to the YouTube search bar and you type in Motormouth, the name of the channel, and then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Nissan. Then all of our reviews and comparisons will pop up. It's that easy.
Is the Sentra larger than the Honda Civic? The Honda Civic is a big sedan. The Sentra has more front row legroom, but it's the Civic that offers more second row legroom and cargo capacity behind the second row. The Corolla is actually quite good as well for cargo capacity.
The Forte is the biggest. We did that recently. The Kia Forte is the largest trunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a nice size car. I would say the big ones in this category would be the Forte, the Civic. The Jetta is a very big car as well.
The Elantra.
Yeah, another one.
That's a really good size vehicle.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I'm very impressed with this generation Sentra. It looks very modern, sleek, and grown up. Does it have what it takes to dethrone or at least provide great competition to vehicles like the Civic and Corolla for being the best in class?
Now, back in the day, Andrea, in the 80s and the 90s, Sentra, Civic, Corolla were all in the conversation.
Yeah.
You would cross-shop all of them. And then the Sentra just fell right off the radar. And then Corolla and Civic just charged ahead, and they never stopped updating those vehicles. So this is a long, long way to go in terms of sales to catch up.
Yeah.
But I think it is a worthy competitor and might actually be the one to beat in this class.
Well, I think right now this definitely is. This is a terrific compact sedan. It offers everything that you need, and it even has a sporty drive to it. I think the biggest problem with the Sentra is the issues that it had with the CVT. And it doesn't affect these new models, but sometimes it's hard to forget about the past, and it's kind of plagued Nissan. And of course, Honda and Toyota didn't have these problems. So I think if you're willing to give Nissan and the Sentra a chance, it's really a terrific vehicle for this category.
It has a great starting price. It's available with a manual transmission where some are not, like you can in a Civic, but it's more the sporty models. So this vehicle, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what about Hyundai and Kia? Don't they offer a compelling package? They sure do, and they have similarly priced vehicles, but they do not offer their compact vehicles with independent rear suspension.
Yeah.
And for me, the way this handles, the way it sits on the road, and the way it feels through my backside and the steering wheel, I like it better. And I would take this over those two vehicles just because of that.
Well, I liked the Elantra, and I really enjoyed the Forte that we recently reviewed. I would say that this actually drives a lot like our Civic drives.
That's right.
And I think that that's really impressive.
Good company, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Now, speaking of that, let's look at the others and how much they cost.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Hyundai Elantra. It has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine matched with a CVT, 147 horsepower, and a starting price of just over $22,000.
The Mazda 3 with a 2-liter 4-cylinder and a 6-speed automatic transmission, 155 horsepower, and a starting price of just over $22,000.
The Honda Civic with a 2-liter 4-cylinder, also matched with a CVT, 158 horsepower, and a starting price of just under $24,500.
The Toyota Corolla with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine and a CVT. It has 168 horsepower and a starting price of just over $21,000.
So there are 4 compact sedans for you to consider.
I think you'll see the big part of the puzzle with this car is the price. So let's get into it with our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. The base 6-speed manual transmission is just under $19,500 in Canada. The base CVT is just over $21,000 in Canada and just over $19,500 in the US. The top SR Premium trim is just under $27,000 in Canada, and prices tested for the SR Midnight Edition with the 2-tone pearl color combination is just over $26,000. JD Power gives the 2021 Sentra a predicted quality and reliability score of 86 out of 100, and Consumer Reports gives it high praise as well, well, saying this is the best Sentra we have ever tested and putting it at the top of the list for compact sedans. CarEdge states the Sentra will retain 44% of its value after 5 years.
Here's the fuel economy: 8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and just 6 on the highway. That's 29 miles per gallon city, 39 miles per gallon highway. The warranty is 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. Lightning round. 2 things we like to see improved.
Well, I love that it's a fully heated steering wheel and it gets hot.
I think the handling on this thing is excellent.
I would love to see LED headlights as a standard feature, even on these sorts of value vehicles.
And for this trim specifically, for what they're charging and the way it looks, I'd like to have power driver's seat.
Well, you certainly can't beat the value in this Sentra.
Really a great package all around. If you're in the compact car segment, you have to try this.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.